Hey, it's Coach Reeves. Today we're going to talk about solving rational inequalities. They're going to be very similar to what we did in the past of solving quadratic inequalities. We're going to section off our number line into zones, and we're going to talk about good, bad, good, bad. And once we get into it, you're going to remember what we did in the past. Okay? All right, so what I'm going to ask you to do is we're going to take each term. I'm going to ask you to set it equal to 0. X minus 6 equals 0. X plus 7 equals 0. You're going to add 6 and get x equals 6. You're going to subtract 7. You're going to get x equals a negative 7. These are the numbers that we're going to put on our number line. We're going to have a negative 7. We're going to have a positive 6. And we're going to treat these as different zones. So now we've sectioned this off into different zones. And we're going to try to find out which zone makes a true statement, which one makes a false statement. Okay? So now that we know this, we're going to ask you to pick a number to substitute in. And we like to use the number 0 because it's the easiest number to work with. So we're going to choose a 0. And a 0 falls into this zone. It's between negative 7 and 6, so we're going to substitute in a 0. 0 minus 6 is a negative 6. 0 plus 7 is 7. And so we ask ourselves, does this make a true statement? And we're going to say, no, this is false. A negative number is not greater than 0. Okay? So when we substitute in the 0, this was bad because it made a false statement. That means that this will be good. This will be true over here. This will be good. This will be true. All right? Just so you understand what I'm saying, I'm going to pick a number from this section. I'm going to pick negative 10. Okay? So let's see what happens when we substitute in a negative 10. Negative 10 minus 6 is a negative 16. Negative 10 plus 7 is a negative 3. The negatives will cancel, or a negative divided by a negative is a positive. But this positive will be greater than 0, so this is why this is a true statement. And likewise would happen if I plugged in, say, the number 10 over here. In this zone, it would make a true statement. Okay? Now, we do not have a bar underneath our inequality symbol. So that means we should have an open circle and an open circle. That means anything from here to that direction is good. From here to that direction is good. We will write our final answer in interval notation. We're going to say from negative infinity to negative 7. Now we're going to give it a soft bracket for the open circle. We have a gap, so we're going to have a U to hold it together. And we're going to say soft bracket for the 6 to positive infinity. And this is our solution set right there. Okay? Let's try again. On this problem, we're going to have to factor a little bit. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to factor this, and we're going to factor out a 2 in common. That's going to leave us with x squared minus 4x minus 5. I can factor that into 2 parentheses. This will be 2. The signs are going to be different. We're going to break down the x squared as x times x. And we're going to break down that 5 as 1 times 5. But I need it to be a negative 4, so we're going to put the 5 with the minus sign and the 1 with the plus sign. Okay? So now, we're going to figure out what numbers are we going to put on our number line. We will put the 2x minus 3 equal to 0. We will move the 3. I will get 2x equals 3. I will divide by 2, and I get 3 over 2. This is a little easier. We just take the opposite. I'm going to get a negative 1. I take the opposite. I'm going to get a positive 5. I put these on the number line accordingly. The smallest is a negative 1. The next is 3 over 2. The next is a positive 5. Okay? So now I have an extra number. We're still going to divide it into zones. Okay, so we're divided it into zones. We look over here and we do not have a bar underneath our inequality symbol, so we're still going to have open circles. We still need to pick a number. We need to pick a number to substitute in. We're still going to choose 0 because it's easy. So we're going to substitute a 0. 0 falls between negative 1 and 3/2. I think it's easier to substitute into the original problem. Let me erase this right now. If I put a 0 here, if I substitute it in, 2 times 0 is 0. That's going to leave me with a negative 3. If I substitute a 0 here, 0 squared is 0, times 2 is still 0. Negative 8 times 0 is 0. That's going to leave us just with a negative 10. Greater than 0. Again, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So is a positive number greater than 0? And we're going to say yes, it is. So when I substitute it in, this made a true statement. That makes this a false statement. This is a false statement. This is a true. Once you established whether this is true or false, remember we're going to alternate good to bad or true to false on our statements, on our zones. Okay? So from here to here is good. From here to infinity is good. So we're going to write our answer as soft bracket negative 1 to 3 over 2. Soft bracket. We have a gap, so we're going to put a U to hold the gap together. We have a soft bracket. We're going to hold 5. And we're going to go all the way to positive infinity. And there's our solution. Okay? Let's keep going. This one's different. I have a number 1 over here. I'm going to need to move the 1 to the other side. I'm going to have to subtract it. And when I subtract it, I'm going to have negative x plus 29 over 3x plus 9 minus 1 is less than 0. I'm going to turn this into a fraction, okay? This is going to be 1 over 1. Let's just do it this way. 1 over 1. I need to get a common denominator. So I have to multiply the bottom times 3x plus 9 and the top times 3x plus 9. So this will turn into 3x plus 9. This will turn into 3x plus 9. But what I need to do is I have to get rid of this minus sign. I have to distribute that. So we're going to change this to a plus sign, distribute that negative, and then we're going to combine like terms. We're not ready for the number line yet. We have to combine like terms. I have a negative x and a negative 3x, which gives me a negative 4x. I have a positive 29 minus 9 is a positive 20 over 3x plus 9. And this is less than 0. All right, so you understand what we did. We moved the 1, got a common denominator, combined like terms. Now we're going to factor. I'm going to take out or factor out a negative 4, and that's going to leave me with x minus 5. I'm going to factor out my greatest common factor of 3, and that's going to leave me with x plus 3. Excuse me, 3x plus, let me just write, that will leave me with, that was right, x plus 3. Sorry, second guess myself. The opposite of a minus 5 is a positive 5. The opposite of a positive 9 is a negative 9. Okay? No bar underneath, so we're going to have open circles. Okay? You know we still have our zones. We're still going to pick the 0. We're going to pick a 0 that's in this zone. And we're going to substitute a 0 in. Now you can go back, you can go to the red or you can go to the parentheses. We're going to go to the parentheses just to show you it works. Okay? 0 minus 5. 0 minus 5 is a negative 5 times negative 4 is a positive 20. 0 plus 9 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Even though it's a fraction, it's a positive number. Is a positive number less than 0? No. So this is bad. These are good. So we're going to go from here to negative infinity. We're going to go from here to positive infinity. We're going to say negative infinity to negative 9, soft bracket, u, soft bracket, 5 to positive infinity. Good? One more. Okay, it's not a 1, it's a 4 this time. But you still have to move it so you get a 0 on the other side. So we're going to move this and we're going to subtract 4. So I have x plus 32 over x plus 5 minus 4 over 1 will be greater than 0. I'm going to take care of the minus sign. We want to try to take care of this so we don't forget it. And then I have to multiply and get a common denominator. My common denominator will be x plus 5. So we're going to multiply times x plus 5. We're going to multiply times x plus 5. So when I distribute, this is going to give me negative 4x minus 20. Now I'm ready to combine like terms. X minus 4x is a negative 3x. A positive 32 minus 20 is 12. Over x plus 5 is greater than 0. We take out our greatest common factor of negative 3, and that's going to leave me with x minus 4. You always have to factor so you can determine what numbers to put on your number line. All right, in this case, the opposite of a minus 4 or a negative 4 is a positive 4. The opposite of a positive 5 is a negative 5. We do not have a bar underneath, so we're going to have open circles. And again, if this had a bar underneath, we would have closed circles and you would use hard brackets. Okay? We're still going to pick 0. We're going to substitute it in. Negative 3 times 0 is 0, plus 12 is 12. 0 plus 5 is 5. Is that positive number, is the positive number greater than 0? And you're going to say yes. This is true. So this is false. This is false. This is the good stuff. And so my answer is going to be soft bracket, negative 5, comma 4, soft bracket. So it's very similar to what we did in the fall, because you have zones on your number line, and then you pick and you substitute in a 0 to find out what's good and what's bad. Okay? Just keep practicing. I think you're going to get the hang of this one. I think it's going to be a little bit easier than some of the other stuff. Okay? If you have questions, just email us or show up in the Zoom and ask us. Good luck.